Welcome back to Diving into Watches. And today we are taking a look at a watch that if you watched my video last week, or I should say 2 weeks ago, when I did the review of the Omega Seamaster 300 Professional, I made a comment that I don't typically wear micro brands anymore, and that I had sold all my micro brands, but one that I will only keep wearing is Shirokara watch. And I've done a review on that one. And so that leads us into the review this time. And that review is going to be of another Shirokara watch that I picked up called the Midori Skin Diver. I have fallen in love with this micro brand, and it is absolutely a fantastic watch brand. So without further ado, let's jump into this review and see what makes Shirokara watches great. So let's roll the intro and let's get going. Okay, so before we jump into the review, let's do a little backstory on the Shirokara Watch Company, its roots, how it started, how I came to know about them, and where they are today. So back during the pandemic time, 2022, 2023, Shirokara is a Japanese watchmaker based out of, I think it's Nagano Prefecture in Japan. I think it's Kyoto, the prefecture within Kyoto, Japan. And the maker of the watch's name is in the Shirokara, carried into the name of the watch company. I first came across them on Instagram. I want to say it was 2023 or 2024 when he was posting watches that he had been making, and people were just loving them. And one of the questions that kept popping up is, when are you going to release and make these watches? Well, in 2024, he finally created a website and released Shirokara watches in a limited production run. And when I mean limited, I'm talking five bespoke pieces. Shirokara specializes in vintage and neo-vintage style watches. You can see the DNA and design influences from classic watches of the 60s and 70s, from Rolex, Blancpain, Doxa, you name it. He takes inspiration. I shouldn't say he, because I don't know the total individual. I'm just assuming it's a he, so we'll just say Shirokara. But Shirokara obviously takes design influences from those time periods and builds these neo-vintage watches. Does a patina effect to these watches. Some people hate faux patina. Some people like it. I'm okay with it if it's done correctly. If it's done not well, you can tell. You can tell the care and the qualities into these watches that he does it, and I like that about him. So the first watch I did was on the Grand Line Skin Diver, and I just love that watch. I wear it quite a bit. This newest one called the Midori Skin Diver, the reason it's called the Midori Skin Diver is it has a lightning bolt seconds hand that is the color of Midori, and it's a skin diver, and you'll see when we do the review, it's on a leather strap, and I really like wearing it on the leather, the suede distressed leather strap, than I do on the actual oyster style bracelet. All his watches will either have this patina neo vintage style or newer vintage wild watches. The micro brand watch that I do wear, and I do quite frankly, is Shirokara. For this reason, I love the quality of the watches, the limited run on these watches. The two watches that I own, the Grand Line and this Midori, he only made 5 of each. And I have number 1 of the Grand Line, and I think I have number 2 or 3 of the Midori. I'm not sure. He makes several different, more newer design ones, and then the more patinaed, older aged ones. It draws me to that time. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, being a Gen Xer, and it draws me to those times. It draws me to those influences, those beautiful old designed watches, and they were purpose-built tool watches. The watch is 100 meter water resistant. I'm sorry, it's 200 meters water resistant. I definitely would have no problem going in the water with this one, but because I have it in a leather strap, I don't. So without further ado, let's jump over to the bench and let's take a look at the Shirokara Midori Skin Diver and what makes it so cool, and why you, if you're into micro brands and you're not looking at Shirokara, let's take a look at what you're missing out and why you should look at Shirokara watches. Okay, here we are over on the bench, taking a closer look at the Shirokara Midori Diver. Before we go over all the details of it, let's just kind of knock out the dimensions real quick, because that's we'll let people like to know those dimensions. The case itself is 904L steel. We'll touch on that in a little bit and why that's kind of cool. versus just standard 3/16 stainless steel. The case is 39.5 millimeters. I find for my wrist and many people that is an absolute sweet spot. The lug to lug is 48 millimeters. The lug is 20 millimeters, so you can put any kind of strap on this thing. It's going to be really, really awesome. With that giant domed acrylic on there, it is 16 millimeters in thickness. If it was a normal domed crystal, it would be, the watch is 11.5 millimeters. It is, I said it was 200 meters water resistant. It is 100 meters water resistant. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it's 200 meters water resistant. The website says 100 meters water resistant. This says 200. So I'm going to err with 100 meters because that's the website says, but I think this is 200 meters. I don't know if you can pick it up, but you can see it says Submariner style watch, and then you got the name down here, and then you got Shirokara, which is the watch company up above. So looking at the watch, you have a aluminum inserted bezel that is kind of distressed. It is 120 click unidirectional. The action on the bezel is absolutely phenomenal. QC is perfect, lines up exactly at the top with the pip. We will do a loom shot. The loom is not fantastic because it's obvious to faux the patina, and I'm okay with that. And I'll tell you why I'm okay with not big on patina when we get there. It is the big thing that stands out that's so about this watch is that just massive domed acrylic and the way it just distorts that dial. It gives you that neo vintage, that 60s, 70s feel of a skin diver watch. It's absolutely incredible. You have the typical crown guards and a nice knurled bezel on the crown, which is easy to grasp. Again, I mentioned the distressed timing bezel. It is a polished case. It has drilled end links. It is a screw down case back, kind of that Rolex Oyster style, Rolex style bracelet. I mean, sorry, not bracelet, but case back. You have the dark chocolate bezel, not bezel, I'm sorry, dial. And then you have the Mercedes style hands. And then you have that Midori green seconds hand. Obviously, that's where the Midori comes from. And then you got the Shirokara emblem, the name in Japanese, and the Shirokara watch, and the Submariner. And then you've got, don't know what this says down here, and then 200 meters. And then you've got your timing track and bezel inside. It does come with a strap that I'll cover why I switched it out to this one instead. It does come with an oyster bracelet that I took it off of, and then it has this olive leather strap, which is extremely comfortable, extremely nice. My only issue with this was, and I almost just bought a clasp to change it out, I don't like this part. I don't like that. I don't like the Rolex symbol. It bothers me, and so I don't like that part. So I probably will change it out because I do like this strap. This olive leather looks really, really good on this watch. But I went on to Holben's and I got a Holben's distressed suede leather strap that is absolutely fantastic. I love their straps at Holben's. I don't know if you can read this, but this one says handcrafted in Deutschland. So handcrafted in Germany, 20 millimeters. Holben's. There's another company out there, Coloreb, which they're handmade in Italy. I have them a couple of other watches. They're a lot pricier. I think this strap was like $55. The collar ribbons can run you almost $100, but the quality, the feel, the craftsmanship is absolutely phenomenal. This watch is great. Drilled end links, which is very easy to change straps out. It has a Seiko NH35 in it. So, you've got a solid horse if you're looking at it for timing reasons, or, it's going to be, we'll put it on the time grapher just out of curiosity, but it'll be well within the tolerances, minus 15 plus 40. You can't expect super timing with an NH35, and I understand why most micro brands use NH35s because it helps keep the cost down and it keeps the watch in an affordable range. When you do have acrylic dials, you will get scuffs like this one. I already dinged it. That's where your polybright will take that right out again, but that's keeping with that neo vintage feel. You are going to get dings and nicks if you have an acrylic. It is not sapphire, so you have to understand that and be accepting of it. If that's going to be a big issue for you, then Shirokara watches, and at least the Grand line and this one is just not going to be the watch for you. The other one I bought is the Grand line. You can see the similarities in them. It's got the distressed bezel. It's blue. This one's on the oyster style bracelet, which I've done a review on this one. This one has different hands. The patina is kind of the same. I will turn the light on. We will do uh, a loom, but the loom is not going to be stellar because of the distressing process. It takes a lot of the loom out. I'm okay with that. I don't have to have perfect loom because A, I'm not diving this watch. I'm not using this. If I was military, I wouldn't be using this on any of my missions. So I'm okay. Not every watch has to have perfect loom for me. It has to have high quality loom because the amount of times that I use loom to see a watch is very, very small compared to my military days. I will throw it on the time grapher just to see how it's doing. And let's go ahead real quick and let's throw it on our scale here, and let's just see how many grams it weighs. 73 grams on a distressed leather strap, and so this extremely comfortable, extremely wearable. I will give you some wrist shots on this one, but let's jump over and let's take it the loom real quick and see what it looks like. Okay, we got the UV light going. You can see the loom is just, I don't want to say non-existent, it's there, but it's fading very quickly. The pip shows extremely fine, but you can see that that the loom is not going to go. It's just, you got to know when you get this style watch. The Grand Line is doing a little bit better than the Midori, but again, I'm okay with that. I think that is just due to the distressing process, the aging, that patina processing is just taking away. You can see it's already gone. I'll hit it one more time, and there it is. Again, so I'm okay with that. So let's flip the lights back on and we'll just touch on this a little bit. Okay, as I stated, I'm okay with that patina not having a lot of loom. This is more of a dress diver. I know some people freak with, obviously non-divable straps on their watches, but you do what you want to do. As as at the Indian Casino here like to say, you do you. So let's, again, I'm totally okay with the loom not being, but if loom's a big issue to you, then this is not a watch you want to look at. But if loom is not a big deal, you're okay. But let's throw this on the time grapher and let's see how it does, how the Seiko NH35 is doing. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I was going to throw in the time grapher, and the time grapher was not functioning correctly. I'm not sure what was wrong with it, so I wasn't able to throw in the time grapher. But let's just say that typical NH35, you're not, if you're expecting plus or minus 1 second a day, you're not going to get out with an NH35. It's performing within that minus 15 plus 40 seconds a day. So I'm not expecting any high massive movements out of this one. Let me pop my watch off, and then we'll throw this on and give you some wrist shots so you can see what it looks like on the wrist. I'm actually wearing the watch I did a review on last video. I have my Omega Seamaster 300M Professional on it. I absolutely love this watch. It's gorgeous. It's pure class. Just love this watch. But let me pop this off, and then we'll throw this one on, and we'll see how it takes a look. Okay, there it is on my 6 1/4 inch wrist on that Holben's distressed leather band. You can see it fits absolutely perfectly. I love 39 millimeter watches. This is 39 and a half. Perfect for me is 39 to about 42. I like that range. If you have a larger wrist on the 7 1/2 size, maybe 7 1/4, this might be a little small. But if you have under that, this is going to fit just perfectly. At 73, I think it was 73 grams. I might be wrong, 73, maybe 79 grams. You don't know the watch is on. It's an absolute dream to wear. I love the watch. I love Shirokara watches. I think it's a fantastic micro brand, and it's something that you definitely need to take a look at. So let's go ahead and pop back over, and I'll give you my final thoughts on the Shirokara Midori Skin Diver, and we'll wrap up this review. All right, well, there you go. There is a look at the Shirokara Midori Skin Diver. If you are into micro brands and that is the world you live in and that's the thing you're into, then I would definitely highly encourage you to go check out Shirokara watches, especially if you're looking something for unique, different, from a different watch world, a different watch making perspective. As I said earlier, the micro brands seems to be just flooded with so many watches, and so many of them seem to be so similar and so alike. And it seems that the micro brand prices keep pushing up, and that's to do with all kinds of different reasons. But in a flooded world of micro brands now, I think Shirokara has a niche and a place in it, and I would highly encourage you to check them out. I dig on them. I love them. I will continue to wear these. I wear this with jeans. I wore this with just jeans and shorts and t-shirts in the middle of summer here in Arizona. I've worn with jeans and shirts to church. This watch can be dressed up. It can be dressed down. I think at the price point, this on the website, it was like $505 is what it is. So the price of the watch and then me buying the band, I'm into this watch for about $560. For me, that's getting on the high end of micro brands. Well, I shouldn't say the higher micro brands, but micro brands seem to be pushing up, and getting out of that seems like a affordable arena anymore. I like watches that are coming from other areas. There's another watch company out there called Katambi Watches, very similar to Shirokara. I think he is based, he's a Japanese watchmaker, but he was living in either Denmark or Germany. I can't remember. I follow him on Instagram, but he is moving back to Japan to continue his watchmaking process. And he does something kind of similar to that. I follow him. I like his watches also. I like seeing watches coming out of other places because when most people think of watches from Japan, they think of Seiko, they think of Citizen, they think of King Seiko, and they think of Grand Seiko. And there are some other brands there, but they're predominantly for the Japanese domestic market. And unless you're really, really nerded out on Japanese watches, you probably haven't heard some of those brands. So it's nice to see some of these micro brands coming out at a decent affordable price point. One of these years, probably the next 2 to 3 years, I will get to Japan, and I would love to pop in to Shirokara Watches and check out and have a chat with them, maybe do an interview with them. It would be really cool to be in Japan and actually talk to the watchmaker of these watches. So tell me what you think. Do you own a Shirokara? Tell me down in the comments, is Shirokara something that you could get into? Is it your kind of your thing? Or what is the micro brand that you're always going to that, and I mean true independent micro brand, not something that's made out of China with one of these bigger micro brands that tends to copy other watches, but I'm talking about true bespoke, small design, small house watchmakers. What are some really good micro brands that fly under the radar that you think I should check out, that you think would be on the same level as Shirokara? As always, thank you for watching. You continue to make this channel grow, and it means everything to me as this old combat vet. It's one of these hobbies I love to do. I do it not for the money, because there's absolutely no money in YouTube videos. It's just for the love of the game. Please leave your likes, your comments down below. Give me that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing. Almost 80% of the people who watch my videos don't even subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel greatly helps us and gives us the opportunity to get our hands on different watches and do different things for you, because we really like to expand that format. As always, you stay safe. Have a great weekend. Do the right thing, because you don't know the battles that other people are fighting. Be safe. And as always, I'm diving into watches. Until next time, I'm out.